Mayor, I should say.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Today is on November 19th. Is the Welcome to the Lee County Board of Commissioners Zoning and Comprehensive Planning hearing. And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Staff, you can introduce the first case, please.
Good morning, Commissioner Sharon, Madam Chair from the County Zoning. The first case is the Box Lane IPD. The request is to rezone almost 15 acres from agricultural to industrial plan development to allow for up to 173,000 square feet of industrial uses. The future land use designation is industrial, and it's surrounded by industrially zoned properties. Hearing examiner heard this case and recommended approval. There were no participants of record.
Great. Any questions for staff?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move approval of the hearing examiner's recommendation.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Thank you. Next case.
That was Sharam's last case. He's retiring.
Really? Congratulations.
You stuck the landing on your last one. Good job.
And you really hit that one out of the park. That introduction was perfect. So thank you.
Okay, the next case before you is Luckett Road IPD rezone. It is DCI 2024-00039. The case is approximately 6.35 acres. It is currently zoned commercial plan development, and the applicant is requesting to go to industrial plan development. The property is located south of Luckett and west of the I-75 interchange. It's in the intensive development future land use category. Like I said, it is currently zoned commercial plan development. This is the master concept plan. The hearing examiner recommended approval. There were 2 participants of record, and staff is here for questions, and so is the applicant.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for staff at this time?
Questions?
We'll go see if the participants are here. Ted Nicholas?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
May
Yes, you have 3 minutes there at the podium. The lights will turn on as your time goes.
Excellent. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Question I'm going to ask, and you have to excuse my ignorance. I just can't help myself. As I enter exhibits into this, how do I do that? If I have some things that I'd like to leave with you, like this.
It can only be presented today if it was presented at the hearing examiner. Was it presented at the hearing?
Okay.
Was it presented at the hearing, or is it new evidence?
No, I have some things that I just want to leave for your review as we go on for this.
The county attorney can review it to see if it was part of the record. We only see what was part of the original hearing.
Oh, so I cannot, this was a new law that was produced October right after the hearing that came out of the Senate.
Sure.
Is that something that I can leave? It's not my biggest piece. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Question on, let's see, and you have to excuse me, a little bit nervous. This is not my normal daily routine. Exhibit B, Section 5, for considering approval was county's copies for review where the developer must provide stormwater report. Have we received that?
So at this time is your time to speak. We don't answer, we don't have dialogue back and forth. So if you have comments to say, then we can take that in consideration and ask staff about it.
I'll just make a brief summary of, what, this is unprecedented. Everything around this is residential. I know that we're trying to call it agricultural, but they're small pieces, small homes. I own 27 acres around it, plus 2 residential homes. I run a 55 and older mobile home community and an RV park, which this is detrimental to my business. this is my emotion on it. It's unprecedented. Anything up and down the corridor in Lee County, there is not one piece of industrial surrounded by residential on all three sides. As far as the nuts and bolts of it, like I had said, in the recommendation and conditions of hearing for zoning, developer must provide a stormwater report with models and calculations demonstrating conveyance capacity will be maintained during and following construction of the project's development order plan. And I'm curious to know if we have that, and I'd like to see it. I've owned this property that's adjacent for 27 acres with 3 lakes, which I share one with this property. And they're ecosystem lakes, they're not just runoffs. I've watched this property and I've maintained it and protected my senior residents who own their homes from hurricanes since 2009. I've had plenty of work to do. I know this property. There's a lot of holes in their plan. The plan that they have is they raise it up, and they claim that there's no water runoff from adjacent property. That is far from true. And as an expert on this property, I've had it through the worst. As this plan will flood me, as they change the law that I have to, for every homeowner, and the only reason that this is not flooded, and I've entered Wink News for the last one, that they came out where I was pumping it to keep my residents dry.
Okay, sir, thank you. Your time's up. We have other speakers too, so everybody gets the same amount of time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next speaker is Maria Herrera. Is Maria here? Okay, we'll close public comment. Participants, staff, if you'd like to come back up, if we have any questions.
Yes, sir. The question was if there was a surface water management plan that was submitted that is required as part of the rezoning plan development process, and that surface water management plan is a narrative, and what that does is it says what the water currently, how the water currently flows on the site, and then what it will be after construction. The applicant, Mr. Philpott, is here with his team if you need anything specific, because at zoning time, we do not get engineer drawings in to know the surface water. They'll have to get a district permit, and we do have conditions regarding the excavation of the lake compensation and the filling of the existing lake so that it's pre and post will not have a negative effect off-site.
Any questions for the board at this time?
Well, are we going to hear from the applicant, Mr. Chairman? Or?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. We have any questions for staff first? So.
Sure. No.
Okay. With the applicant, I would address some of the concerns. And I was going to say, for the record, for the one speaker, we are only here at the board. What we're just approving is the use of the zoning. We're not, all the development stages comes afterwards. That's staff level, and that's done through water management, and then all the modeling will be done through development orders. So that's something we do not approve or get involved with here, but they obviously have to follow the permits. So maybe the applicant address that.
For the record, Josh Philpott, on behalf of the applicant. The requested rezoning is, without going through the full-length detail of all the consistency and compatibility issues, the main question that has been posed is regarding the stormwater. And I have Joel Blickstad, our engineer, here with us today, and we as part of the, I'm going to escape out of this if you don't mind. I'm going to pull out a stormwater plan that we submitted and prepared, and he can speak to the stormwater issues related to the proposed development directly and answer any questions. So I will just go to stormwater management. All right. And Joel, if you will.
Thanks, Josh. For the record, Joel Blickstad, representing the applicant. The question has been posed whether detailed stormwater calculations have been submitted, and Commissioner Pendergrast, you're exactly right. The detailed stormwater calculations will be required at time of development order submittal, not at this stage of zoning. However, at this stage, we did provide an overview, I'll call it a 3,000 level view of what the stormwater management is intended to look like. As is typical of development in this area, all the on-site runoff from the property will be captured either via inlets or direct runoff to one of two private detention areas that will be provided by the applicant prior to ultimate discharge into the portion of the on-site lake that is on-site here in the southwest side. We are also improving that existing lake by providing a piped outfall to the Luckett Road system. It does not currently have a well-maintained outfall, so we're improving that situation that will serve both our applicant as well as the surrounding development that relies on this outfall location for positive outflow. As the previous public speaker mentioned, pumping out the lakes, this will provide or get rid of the requirement for pumping out those lakes by providing an ultimate outfall. This will be permitted through the South Florida Water Management District as well as Lee County, and we'll have to meet the requirements of each of those agencies. So,
Any questions, for applicant?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if I may, just a quick question. I think a lot of people always ask when they look at developments like this going in on vacant land, they say, well, the new developments are going to have to be built up so high. Can you explain kind of in plain English terms, so if you do put something up that's higher so that it doesn't flood, how do you keep the water then on your property? Hey, kind of explain how that works.
yeah, that's a great question. Thanks, Commissioner Hammond. So what we'll be required to do is elevate the site. There's certain flood characteristics, but the characteristics at the property line are we're going to build the site up with a slope as quickly as we can, and then there will be a berm. And what the berm does is capture the water, and then from that berm height, which is set based on modeling analysis, it will flow, it'll slope into the site. So essentially the only portion of the site that will continue to drain off-site is that little tiny bit of backside of the berm that slopes from the property line, because we're not allowed to fill off-site, from the property line to the top of that berm elevation, and then everything from the berm inward will slope into our site and be treated as a stormwater system. And that contrasts with what's currently out there, where all of this is low-lying and it just generally drains into this lake. It's going to be a managed situation with the stormwater management, as opposed to just free-flowing into the existing lake.
Gotcha. So the berms are what keep the water then in and on the site and then direct the flow to the ultimate stormwater management system.
That's correct.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. That answers my question.
Great. Any other questions from the applicant?
Nope.
I had a question for staff real quick. Thank you again for doing a great job all the time. So,
Thanks.
what could be currently built there today without the change?
If it was just remained at commercial plan development, it was for our RV sales.
Okay. And
It was approved for RV
It would
sales.
still be the same, the height of the current?
Correct. It would have to meet the standards
Florida
of time.
flooding goes, it wouldn't be an issue?
Correct, sir.
The concern about the compatibility with residential and commercial, I know it's commercial across the street. To the east of it is commercial. There's a building to the east of it that actually builds jet engines. So I know noise is the issue, but the whole area is kind of commercial already. Can you talk about a little bit how this was, why the HEX or staff came up with the decision this is compatible with the residential area, even though there's commercial across the street and next door?
Sure. So when we received this application, we look at the surrounding land uses to look at the existing and the proposed, because some land uses have zoning and they haven't been built yet. And so it is close to the interchange. And as you work west, so the interchange is over in this general vicinity, and as you work west, there is RV sales here, there's residential, and then there's an industrial and commercial development across the street. And in looking at what was currently approved, it was RV sales in a similar footprint. So what you are seeing on the master concept plan for the industrial plan development is a similar footprint that was already approved. And then what staff did was look at the buffering and any of the enhancements that we could do for more compatibility, because this is heavy machinery. kind of similar height with that as an RV, but we ended up putting in, requesting that the applicant add an 8-foot wall that's not required on this side so that it protects these residents, and then some screening and an 8-foot wall to protect these residents too from the display sale that was going to be going on around here
Okay.
and
For the
up in
bump.
here.
Okay, great, thank you. Any other questions? Come back, Commissioner Hammond?
One last question, again, just kind of looking at the schedule of uses here. It doesn't look like repair is going to be, like there might be some ancillary repair, but is repair part of this?
No.
No, okay.
No, as part of the one of the uses that is allowed is vehicle and equipment dealers, and that in our code allows ancillary repair, but it's not full repair.
So we're not going to hear like impact wrenches and stuff
No, and
going
it's
all
my,
day long?
and the applicant can kind of expand on this a little bit, because it was asked during the review and actually during the hearing. It's my understanding that they would ship those machines off if it needed that much repair.
Okay. Thanks, that answers my question.
Thank you. Come back to the board for action.
Well, Mr. Chairman, based upon the record that's in front of us, I'll move the hearing examiner's recommendation subject to conditions and deviations.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Any objections? No objection, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case,
Good morning. For the record, Kate Burgess, Principal Planner with the Planning Section. So the last case today is the Disaster Recovery Plan update. You have previously seen the transmittal hearing for this. This is the adoption hearing after it was sent to the state. This essentially just fixed some references in the Lee Plan after the board had adopted the Disaster Recovery Plan last year. So we did transmit this to the state. The state reviewing agencies didn't have any comments. So staff recommends that it be adopted. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those at this time.
any question for staff?
No, we already saw this.
Okay. Any public comment on this item? No one's here. Come back to the board.
I'll move for approval based on staff recommendation, BoCC adopt the proposed amendments.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Any objection? No objection, motion carries. Thank you. And we are adjourned. Thank you.